I'm here in Parliament Square. I'm here with Phoenix. We're in the Democracy Village. But what is a Democracy Village and why are you here?
Democracy Village is an open discussion forum, lots of different groups about the future. It's also called a People's Assembly. It started on May Day, it's been here for about a month, but a little bit of background. Some of us went to the Copenhagen Climate Summits last year, December, and many of the networks from all over, activist groups in Europe to South American campesinas to all over the world, including big NGO networks, all called for People's Assemblies to be set up throughout June. Everyone welcome to discuss the environment, the future, sustainability, peace, and what we're going to do about the future. But the main thrust of things are, for climate and the environment, for civil liberties, and for things like land redistribution, electoral reform, creating a more fair election system. This is a protest, but it's also a discussion forum. Technically, all protests within 1 mile of Parliament by our previous government has denied our right to protest and denied anyone the right within 1 mile, unless you apply for permission and various other things. But basically, we've got past the SOCPA laws by saying this is a discussion forum on the future. However, individuals and groups are taking daily direct action. There's a direct action meeting every day at 1 o'clock. People have been climbing up the trees outside number 10 Downing Street, up on top of the Westminster Abbey, the other churches, onto Whitehall, even into the MOD building, unfurling big banners saying peace, troops home, and various other issues and things like that.
It's a lovely idea that you might have a group meeting of people outside who are truly discussing the machinations of democracy, and inside it's a different story. I think it's a very, very nice feel.
It's interesting, it's very interesting. I mean, a lot of people have lost various faith with, the political system over the last years, particularly all the expenses scandal and all the rest, and they keep saying they want to change, but 50% of the promises they make before an election are never fulfilled. They were asking me today, what do you think about their things to reform or repeal some of these, these draconian acts have been brought in, and we're saying, well, we don't want them reformed, we want them repealed. The SOCPA laws, the terrorism laws, the Criminal Justice Act, all of these were massive reductions of our civil liberties that people fought world wars to gain those civil liberties. And with the stroke of a pen, some politician, without consulting everyone, is removing so many of our rights. So we hope that there is a more open and fair democratic process enacted in the future, and we're staying here to make sure that does happen.
I very much see the potential of occupying this particular piece of land because of where we are, right under the ticking clock, in a symbolic sense of Big Ben, and people struggling in that building across there to convince themselves that they are offering us something which feels like democracy. Of course, nobody has ever really experienced democracy, I'm aware, apart from perhaps Native Americans, who probably knew a thing or two long before we ever got there, calling democracy what we think it is. So I'm just really proud to be here in a kind of calling in of what it is to be in touch with the earth, and also to be taking responsibility at a global level as well as a local level.
I've been on Parliament Square for the last 3 and a bit weeks. I'm an ex-serving personnel, a veteran, and I'm here for the cause of getting the troops out of Afghanistan.
Fantastic, a really important cause, obviously.
Definitely, I think it's one of the most important issues which the government seem to overshadow.
Yeah, kind of overlooking it conveniently at the moment.
Definitely, I mean it's important. I mean, there's troops over there that are dying, and it's not being acknowledged. I mean, none of the political parties before the election said anything about the troops in Afghanistan, so that's got to count for something. They're not being acknowledged in any way, shape or form. I don't know if you're familiar, there's a domino effect going on at the minute. The guy in charge of the operation with the British troops in Afghanistan has actually said we're fighting a losing battle. Following that, a resignation of a high colonel in the bomb disposal unit of the RLC. So it's all falling to pieces because these guys are obviously acknowledging that we shouldn't be there. It's just the powers that be are not seeing this. I served for 3.25 years. I would have stayed for longer. It's a nice environment. I enjoyed the army. I just contested something and disagreed with one of my commanding officer's orders, and contested this, which inevitably I discharged myself as a dissatisfied soldier because he showed no remorse for a soldier that I was serving with that died.
I've been here pretty much since the 1st of May, basically because I think it's a very good idea to have a community here which is committed to exerting its democratic rights of assembly and protest and demonstration. And I think it's just a brilliant location because obviously we are surrounded by all of the various institutions which are responsible for enacting the things that a lot of us aren't happy with. And so what better place to be than right in the heart of it.
You come with a military background as well. This whole sort of story about bringing our troops back is important to you?
I understand that there is a lot of perceived barriers in different elements of the public services, like the army and the police and stuff. And that in order to transcend those barriers, you have to show some empathy with them, i.e. a lot of the soldiers and stuff, they I'm sure would feel some degree of separation maybe from what we're doing here because they think, well, you don't understand my life. I'm a soldier, I've served, I've trained and all that, and they're very insulated from many diverse opinions because obviously when they're in their basic training, they're all inside the base, and then you know they're pretty much in the bubble all the way up until they get discharged. And so to kind of break through that bubble, you have to sort of say, look, we respect you, you know, we understand you, we know that you are doing what you think is right, and we respect that as well, but we don't support the war. And I think that resonates with a lot of the police and the services because as long as you show some degree of respect, basic respect towards them, they're prepared to listen to you. But if you say, oh, you're all murderers, I don't want to hear you, you're not going to get any airtime with these people. And ultimately, it's only by getting through to these people that we're going to affect a greater change.
The idea here is in the heart of Parliament Square to bring to attention of the British people that we are still in 2 major wars and we want our soldiers back. They're also trying to bring to our attention the fact that our civil liberties have been eroded and eroded and eroded. In the last government, thousands of new laws were issued. Every single day, your civil liberties get less and less. So these people meet here every single day. They talk about democracy. They talk about new ways to run government. They talk about reforms, right here in the centre of power in the UK. So if you would like to support them, you can support them through Positive TV and check out our website. There'll be a donate button there to help them. This is a really, really important cause. Watch for later updates from Positive TV. Thanks.